Hey yo, baby D, get your little ass over here on the mic, man. Show these other little niggas they can't fuck with the Dangerous Crew, man. Spit that shit.
Shit on gold chain, gold glasses, prime time like Dion.
Hey, can't do the Quan, do the Dion. You hear me?
He don't speak on me, I don't compete with a peon. Flying a bundle like my name was Dion.
What's up, man? Yeah, I know, my back door is open. No pun intended. Just out here chilling in the yard. Just trying to relax. Recuperate from a mental episode I had the other day. You know, I was overwhelmed by a lot of things that were taking place in my life. You know, I'm a simple guy, man. You know, I know the position I'm in this world. I know I was born into a situation where the people that I'm the offspring of, they weren't rich when I was born, and they're still not rich. Like a lot of you all, right? So, you know, I understand my position. Pull yourself up by your bootstrings, ninja. So, you know, I accept everything that comes along with it. Okay, all right, cool. I'm not one of the 13 families that were in the 1%. Cool. I'm cool with that. All right, cool. Whatever. You know, that's part of our punishment from God. We were supposed to be in this position for a certain amount of time because we didn't follow the commandments that God wanted us to follow. So now we're dealing with the repercussions of it, right? I've done the research on all that. I understand why my position is what my position is. That's cool. I'm cool being a slave. I'm cool dealing with my time in exile from the abundance of life. I'm fine with that. The thing that I seem to have an issue with is when I accept my slavery position, you have a problem with me even accepting my slavery position. Why can't I just be a content slave without all the pushback for even being a slave and minding my business at work? That's the main idea of this whole video. You know, if you are good in English, you understand that your main idea is explained in your first sentence or your first paragraph of your essay or your thesis or whatever, right? So that's the main idea for this video. I understand I'm a slave, but can you at least let me be a slave in peace? Right? So let's go into the stories. Throughout my whole work history, up until a certain point. Nope. Now that I think back on it, even when I was 15 years old working in McDonald's, my first legitimate job, well, my first job was Lone Star or something like that, right off I-55, right beside the old Cracker Barrel on 55. Yeah, that's at the Atkins Boulevard exit. I started there at first. I worked there maybe 2 days. I was a bus boy and also a host that sat people down when they came into the front door. That was about right at 15. Then right after I left there in about 2-3 days, I went to McDonald's, right? When I was at McDonald's, bro, they used to have these older guys that were ex-cons that worked in the grill section with me. Now, I was young. I was a young kid in high school, and, you know, it was just a job. It was my first job. I'm trying to get in here and learn the workforce. These people taught me everything to do during training. Okay, let me just go in here and implement it, you know, and just do my job. I'm just trying to get some money in my pocket, bro. You know what I'm saying? My people done given me uh, one of their hand-me-down cars. Uh, they've given me a little bit of a money situation through a loan that my grandfather had taken out for me to fix my car up. So, I fixed my little car up. I set it on some black rims. I'm like 15, 16 years old. I done got my car painted. I'm on black wheels now, you know what I'm saying? Now let me just work towards paying this loan off that my grandfather has gotten for me, as well as try to put some money in my pocket. So I go in there and just try to work my job to the best of my ability so I can keep my job and keep paying towards this loan and providing for my lifestyle. What I deemed was my lifestyle, just going to the mall, North Park, buy me a few Hollister jeans and Hollister hoodies and little Abercrombie jeans, maybe some Jordans off of Ellis Avenue. Was it Ellis Avenue? It was Lynch Street, where the homie used to pop the trunk on the Caravan right there by Boston Fish Supreme, and just buy me some little cheap J's out the back of the trunk for like $40, $50, you know what I'm saying? Never mind if they're real or not, because what we know now about China is all the stuff that they were telling us was fake was substantiated, you know what I'm saying? Because it's made from the same material. So, I'm just chilling. But I always had a problem with people finding a problem with me. I'm not doing nothing. I'm just here doing my job. Forgive me if I'm not burdened by the pitfalls of life that you guys have in your current life. I'm a happy person. I see the glass half empty. Half full instead of half empty. You know what I'm saying? So people would always just find a reason with my light to have a problem. Like, what the fuck is he so happy for? Like, why the fuck is this motherfucker never coming in to work mad or sad and stuff like this? Cause, dude, it is what it is. We in this situation. Why make it worse? Just wallowing in our pity and our sorrow. I just want to come in here, provide these people with the service they want when they come through this drive-through. I'm on the drive-through. I'm on the microphone and stuff. Hey, how you doing, man? Welcome to McDonald's. Yeah, can I take your order? Shit, put your order in. Sometimes I would freaking work the ordering side of it and take the money. They would have me at one window, shut one window down, put me at that window, and I would have to fix drinks, then run over there and bag everything up and provide it to them out the window. So what? Then other days they would have me sweeping the bathrooms. Other days I would be in the back on the grill. So what? I'm dropping fries, setting the timers for it. Sometimes I'm in the back fixing parfaits and these little yogurt things. I don't care, man. It is what it is. Sometimes I'm in the back washing dishes. Get your little 30-minute break. It is what it is, bro. I'm a slave. This is what comes along with being a slave. So I just couldn't see why people always had an issue with me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad I'm bringing it up, because when I hit play on this video, it brought back that memory. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was just when I started making more money that people started having a problem with. But now that I think about it, it's been going on ever since I was in the workforce, period. So it must just be a thing of people, right? So, I transition and I leave McDonald's and I go to Taco Bell. And Taco Bell was pretty cool. Taco Bell on Lakeland Drive, right there by Crystals. If you're from Jackson, you know what I'm talking about. It used to be an old Antonelli College right there by Primo's, and the park used to be across the street. Applebee's was right down the street. Yeah, that job was pretty cool. I ain't had no problem with them people. They was out from the hood, though. They was from West Jackson, but they working in North Jackson. They just seen me as a little kid that was spoiled. Little do they know, all that shit I was doing, I was working for it. You know what I'm saying? So they saying, this little nigga on black wheels and shit, he come in and work after high school and shit. So they probably just, I don't know. It was a bunch of ladies, so they respected it. You know what I'm saying? They were 30, you know what I'm saying, 40 years old, my managers and my coworkers and stuff like that. Then I had a few young girls in there that was from high school as well. They was all cool with me. But then when I started getting into like trucking jobs and things like that where I made more money, I started like seeing the little hate that came from people in the same aspect because they seen me come in there and not be bothered so much by the job. I'm just in there to do a job and come in there. All I got is my balls and my work ethic, right? This is my shit. I gotta do this. So the only thing I have to live off of is how well I do my job. So I go in there and I do my job well. I show up on time because I can't afford to get fired because I don't have anything to fall back on. Everybody in my family got their own financial struggles going on. And again, I don't like to ask people anything. So I'm gonna come in there and do my job, man. So, I just always stood out by knowing that I didn't have anything to fall back on. So it placed me in a position where other people that had lackadaisy mindsets when it came to work, or leniency in the way that they did their work, or just nonchalant attitudes, it always placed me in a situation where it made me look like I was a far exceeding type of person. Damn, this dude show up to work on time. He come in and work his butt off when he come in here. He don't complain about nothing. He just does his job effectively. But the thing that I always had a problem with was they always hated on me. Like they never wanted to give me promotions. They never wanted to, let me elevate. And they never liked me when I went to these jobs. Because they always felt like I was trying to show them up. But little do they know, I was just trying to CYOA, cover my own ass, bro. You feel me? So, when I started working at Central Transport in Pearl, Mississippi, again, I had those same qualities about work. And anytime I would try to excel in my job, they would always say that they were gonna do this for me. Okay, all right, let me give you this example. I was working as a city driver, right? That's when you getting paid hourly. You go out in a semi truck and you deliver to numerous amounts of stops, whatever your route is. Some people have city routes where they right there in Jackson. Some people have routes when they go to Vicksburg. Some people have routes when they go to Natchez. Some people have routes like mine, which was one of the longest ones it was. I used to drive from Jackson to Yazoo City to Greenville to Greenwood to Winona, make a pickup at the end of my day when I delivered everything off the truck, then pick up a whole load of stuff and bring it all the way back down 55 from Winona all the way back to Jackson Pearl every day. I used to do that. I had the longest route at my job as far as city drivers go. And when it came time for me to just upgrade, like elevate, because I was tired of doing the same old stuff, I said, hey man, do you think you could put me on the line haul spot, which was taking a full trailer of freight to another state? It might be 2 states over. Well, the type of routes that we had set up on this job was you would leave Pearl, essentially Jackson, right outside of Jackson, maybe 5 miles. You would drive from Pearl to either Shreveport or to, what's that place called? Anyway, Shreveport or to fucking Mobile, Alabama, or you would go to Memphis or something like that, and it came with more money, which was something that all the senior drivers, like the older guys, were looking to get into. I was like 27, 28 at the time, something like that. All the people that were doing that were like 40-year-olds. But I already milked the city game for what I can do it for. I done topped out at the pay and all that, and I'm bored with it because I know how to run every route that you got. When these people don't show up, I run their routes and I do it efficiently. So can I elevate? So my manager at the time told me he was going to let me elevate. Okay, we're going to put you down for line haul. Lo and behold, that line haul position got passed over for me and given to somebody else that was completely new to the company. Why? Because they didn't want to take me out of that position that I ran so well. So, needless to say, I left that company because I seen no growth there. You were just going to keep on killing me every day, making me do what you wanted me to do. So I left there. Then I went to a company called XPO Logistics. I ran city for them. Just an entryway to get into the door because you couldn't come on straight as a line haul driver back when I was driving for them. So I went in, did city for about a year. After that year was up, I put my bid in to go line haul, the same thing I wanted at Central Transport. So I got the job at line haul. When I got the job at line haul, I ran the city so well at XPO that they didn't want me to leave city and make more money. A few people didn't want me to leave and make more money. And primarily it was the people that were the older 50, 60, 70-year-olds that worked in the office. A bunch of white guys out of Rankin County that chew snuff and I'm gonna do that. Those type of guys, you know, from the backwoods where the rebel flags fly in Rankin County and all this old type of stuff, man. So they used to always have a problem with me. For whatever reason, I have no idea. Because I've always been the same old type of dude. I come in, do my job. I don't sit in there and kiki and giggle with people or make foul jokes. I just get my paperwork, leave out the door as I've always have at any job that I ever had, bro. So, needless to say, man, the tensions grew so much on that job at XPO with the Snuff Brothers that I ended up having an altercation with one of the guys one night because I said, man, you know what? They treat me so bad around here, man. God, I might have to find me something else. And he took it upon himself to include himself into a conversation that I was having with someone else. He said, what you say? And I said, I'm going to have to leave here if this shit don't stop. And he said, well, you can leave right now. And I fucking lost it. Man, why the fuck you in my conversation? And things went from there. I developed a image at the company as being a troublemaker because I took things to another level and ultimately ended up about to assault this guy. So, you know, it got blown over. You know, a few people asked me a few questions about it in the office and things like that, and it went away. But I knew from that point that it was going to be a target on my back. So I took it upon myself to make the move down here to the Gulf Coast area. I left Richland, Pearl, Jackson, XPO, Central Transport, left it all behind. I said, you know what? Everybody can't be like this in the world. So I'm just going to take it upon myself to go somewhere else. They don't appreciate me here. Maybe people here are just too lost in time. So I'm going to go somewhere else and try my luck in another aspect of the lower United States, the Gulf Coast area. So I land on the banks of New Orleans and Gulfport and Biloxi and Mississippi down towards this area, man. I go through a few jobs. As you seen in the loyalty video, I had a few jobs once I first came down here. Same thing happened at those jobs. Come in, do your job, run it efficiently, and it's always your coworkers that have a problem with you just being yourself, not kissing ass, and doing your job. I mean, I show everybody up at these jobs, bro, because I just come in there and do my fucking job because that's all I got, and I gotta provide for my kids and my family. And they hate that shit because they fucking lackadaisy, and I'm not, because I don't have any fucking help to fall back on, right? So I go through a few jobs, and then, you know, I get to one of these other jobs. I won't say the name of where this job is, you know what I'm saying? Or in what particular order it was in my job history. But I get to this job, right? My fucking credentials are great, man. I don't fucking have accidents when I drive. I show up to work on time. I don't get fired from jobs. I voluntarily leave jobs in hopes of prospering and evolving myself in the workforce. If there's a job over here that's making more, I will apply for it. Especially if I feel like the company I'm working with doesn't value me the way I feel that they should. So I apply for a job. And for the first year, I completely run my ASS off like a workhorse. Essentially, I'm just running myself like a fucking crazy man. You know what I'm saying? Because I just want to solidify my position and not be able to be let go. You know what I'm saying? If you ever been there, like, man, I just gotta lock this bitch down. I'm gonna do this shit for as long as they keep throwing it on me. I'm just gonna handle this shit, and then, you know, eventually I like fall back. Once they see that, okay, it's not a facade. He don't just do it for 2 weeks. Like, he's really built like this. Like, he really lived his life. He really can push them miles. He really can deliver this freight. He really shows up on time. This is really a good employee to have here, right? But when I first came to this job and I started showing the type of worker that I am, that exceeded expectations, when I used to come into the office, these people used to tell me stuff like, there he is, there's Superman, the man that don't take off, the man that runs all these miles and comes back with 30 minutes on his clock. But in the back of my mind, I always knew that was a mechanism that was used to like tap a ninja on the head and say, yeah, I'm gonna make you feel good about what you're doing so we can keep on manipulating you to keep on doing what other people in the company won't do because they're smart enough to know not to do it anymore. I knew that, but I just gotta solidify this position, right? So the same people that used to tap me on my head and say, good boy, they would also be the people that would try to inflict straightening on me. You know what I'm saying? Now, what I mean by that is they seen that I was a person that wasn't with all the BS. I wasn't a joker. I wasn't a person that come in there and, hey, what the fuck you doing today, man? And all that old type of shit that all these old type of people do when they come in the office and kick the shit with them. I'm not that type of person because I don't play about my energy. And if you say the wrong thing to me, I'm liable to take it the wrong way, and then my response, you won't be able to take it like you want to take it, because I'm going to say some shit that's going to make you think. You feel me? So I don't even play those type of games back and forth like pity pat with people. You know what I'm saying? So the first day I came in, and I didn't have a safety vest on. Now let me put this in perspective. Our uniforms at work are steel toes, a safety vest, and just to look presentable. You don't really have a uniform at work. You just wear whatever you wear, but as long as you got steel toes on and a safety vest, you good. The first day I came in and didn't have my safety vest on, dude stopped me and said, hey, who do you work for? I said, Blase? He said, no, you can't work for us because you don't have the safety vest on. I said, dude, oh shit, man, I forgot. I jumped out the truck, man, didn't even remember I had it. But mind you, there's older people at this job, Caucasian males, that come in with white t-shirts on, don't have a safety vest on, don't have tennis shoes on, just do whatever they want to do. But because I was somewhat deemed as a passive-aggressive person, a person that was just easygoing, don't really be studying stuff too much, they start taking it upon themselves to see how far they could push me. Now, if I was a ghetto motherfucker that would liably come over the goddamn counter and get in a SHIT, they wouldn't have came at me like that. But because they knew that, he's an easygoing guy, they just wanted to fuck with me. They just wanted to play with my energy, see what type of person I was, how far they could push. So I backed them up off me one day, you know what I'm saying? I had been running like 500-600 miles for like a year straight, and I wanted to take off because I had been working like 6-day weeks. Nobody ever told me that you had the option of being off on certain days when the loads were low. And damn sure they weren't gonna tell me that, because I was the young dummy, ignorant person that would run that SHIT every 6 days. You feel me? With one day off. And then the one day off that you get, you really don't get it off because you gotta wait on the phone call to tell you when you gotta be right back in the next day. So you really were running yourself crazy for 7 days a week. You never was off the clock, really. So I came in and they were giving me pushback because I asked to be off early the next day to go to my daughter's award ceremony at school. Oh, well, how about if we bring you in about 30 minutes later? Oh, well, what about if we drop you down 100 miles on the run? I said, bro, I need to be off early. Well, you know that your days off is this. I said, man, Now I run this SHIT for you every day. I asked to be off for one effing day. And my foot, oh, yeah, man, back the fuck up. Now I said I need to be off. Leave me the fuck alone. I got PTO and all this. Leave me alone, bro. But before that, I had this little hater. If y'all go back and watch one of my old videos when I was sitting in front of my lake at my old lakefront property that I used to stay at. I was talking about this little hater when I first came to this job. He used to always bother me about any little old thing that he could find on me. Now I come from a situation where we didn't have no real crazy safety things and stuff like that. But nowadays, when you get into the trucking game, they got this stuff called following distance and a radar in the front of your truck. They could determine whether you're 4 seconds from the car that's directly in front of you, right? So with this particular thing that they instituted in the trucking game, when you have a person that cuts right in front of your truck, you're supposed to come up off your gas and wait 4 seconds until that car gets 4 seconds in front of you. And then you can get back on your gas. But down here on I-10 and I-12, man, these people drive so crazy and everybody's in such a rush that they would wait until you get that 4 seconds in front of you in that car, and then they'll deem that as enough room to wiggle in there, jump in front of the truck, and keep on going down the road because they see an opening right there. So you would constantly have to get off your gas all day. Oh, boom, 4 seconds. All right, cool, I'm gonna get back on my gas. Then somebody else will come jump right in front of you because now you've dropped yourself down to 60 miles per hour, and they'll jump right in front of you. Now you gotta do the 4 second thing all over again. And it's a continuous thing all day. And if you're doing 400-500 miles, can you imagine how many times people do that in a 500-mile run, that you gotta slow down and wait on them to get 4 seconds and then somebody else jump in front of you? That shit would drive you crazy. So this little hater that was in my job, he was a safety guy, right? And any opportunity he would get, and I say I might fucking go through that shit 100, 200 times a day, just dealing with cars jumping in front of you. And if that car jumps in front of you and you don't get off the gas, it'll trigger a camera event in your truck, and it'll send it to the office that you ain't get off your gas when them 4 seconds came up, right? So I got called into the office a few times that I didn't come up off the gas within those 4 seconds. Because you just get so irritated with doing that shit all day. You just like, man, fuck, I'm just gonna fucking stay on the gas. This you feel me? So this motherfucker would use that shit every opportunity he got to call me in the office. Call me in the office. Like every fucking day, he'll call me in the office. Call me in the office. You might dodge that shit 200 times, but it's one time on this camera that you fucking not get off the gas because you fucking pissed. And this motherfucker would call me in the office just trying to build a fucking record on me of always having to deal with me for fucking following distance and shit. Couldn't do it because of my coming into work late or not doing my job, because that shit was flawless. So this motherfucker that was intimidated by me would always fucking use that as a way to get up under my skin, because I came in and I was a nice guy and I had great energy and I was cool and shit like that. He just used that little fucking position he had over me to just pickle me. Pickle me. I'm gonna pick with his ass, see if I can turn that smile into a frown today type shit, right? Now this motherfucker here, what they tell me, he done fucking tore up trailers, all type of shit, sent tree limbs through trailer walls, and you know what I'm saying? He used to be a driver, but they promote from within, so his ass got a position to be a safety guy. You know what I'm saying? By kissing so much ass and running up behind the manager and all that. So he done got a position. Now anybody that he deems intimidation and could potentially take his spot, he find a problem and pick with these type of people to make himself look good. So he builds a record of, oh, he did this to make himself look good, sitting in a chair behind a computer and not really living, you know what I'm saying, this trucking shit that's going on out here. So that's what he fucking do. You know, so this motherfucker just continues to pick with me. But lo and behold, through all the picking that he does of me for my entire damn near 2 years of being at this job, I come up for a promotion. Because when you look on the damn charts on the bulletin board, I'm 100% on my scanning. I'm 100% on my delivery. This nigga's never late. When other people call in damn near every other day, this man here never calls in. He never calls in. He's never even a fucking minute late. Over 2 years, 365 days in a year, nigga, that's damn near, what, 720 days? This nigga never calls in and never late. And these other motherfuckers come in 30 minutes. Oh, fuck, I got the bird flu. I got swine flu. And show up the next day to work. So you know they be lying. This nigga don't do nothing wrong. And this motherfucker here wants to pick with this man because he sees Dion Brown as a threat to his position because he doesn't have the flaws on his record that you have. And you're an intelligent young man, and he sees that you may be a threat to his job. So lo and behold, like I was saying, I come up for a promotion. Now, I didn't ask for this shit. I'm just fucking being a slave, doing my job, going about my business, being a slave. Hey, I'm cool. As long as you goddamn pay me for what I do, man, and I can pay my bills around here, keep working on my other little side hustles on the side, I'm straight. I'm content, bro. I know what position I'm in. I ain't even supposed to have this job. Really, I only been down here 2 years. I ain't even supposed to have no job like this. But they bring it to my attention. Hey, man, you're eligible to be a driver trainer. So, you know, I go ahead and start training about 2-3 people. And, you know, the way that I train people, I give feedback throughout my training instead of just waiting till the 3-4 days are over and then just turning in some paperwork. I fucking give updates, let them know what the people doing wrong, and they're fucking blown out the wazoo by the way that I train and how transparent I am throughout the process of me training, right? So, I fill out the application for the training position. Okay, y'all think I'm gonna shoe in for it? Cool, sure in, cool, man. Hey, if it works, it works. I don't mind getting out of the truck and being a trainer. So my little hater, hearing that these type of things are going on for me, he takes it upon himself to tell me one day, while we're both watching somebody train that I know. He says, hey man, you know, if you get this job as a trainer, you'll be on the same position as me. You'll be on the same level as me. We'll be one of the big heads. I say, hey man, if it works, it works. Cause I'm not farting at this shit like you are, bro. I don't care about this shit. I just want to make some fucking money and take care of myself. I'm not fucking interested in fucking trying to, you know what I'm saying, die about this shit, man. I just want to fucking live, bro. I'm down here to fucking enjoy nature and enjoy New Orleans and the beach and all this shit. Nigga, this is my retired life, essentially, that I just have to pay for with the job until I'm able to get some real money. I ain't studying all that old shit that you care so much about, to look down on other drivers and boss them around. That's not what I'm here for. If I'm in a position of management, I'm here to goddamn improve the lifestyle and the livelihood of my drivers. I want to make things better for them. What can we institute to make things better for you all? I'm not one of the ones that get a position like a bullied dude in school that want to be a police officer to fuck over other people. That's not where I'm coming from this shit with. So, lo and behold, I go about my shit and keep on waiting on the little application process. He tell me, oh, it should be back in 1 week. We should hear something. 3 weeks passed by, I still ain't heard nothing. So I'm in fucking Macomb, Mississippi, one day, leaving the chicken plant over there, Sanderson Farm, and a fucking car pulls out in front of me while I'm doing 50 going down the road. A car pulls out in front of me doing 20 miles per hour. So, I have to slow down. And I'm fucking behind this person doing 20 miles per hour. And then all of a sudden, with no signal light on, they just turn abruptly in a driveway, right? So we have that radar in the front of our truck, right? So when that radar detects something that's extremely close to you, it'll jam your truck on brakes without you pushing the brakes because it wants to prevent a crash, right? So that motherfucker jammed me on brakes when that girl turned off in that driveway right in front of me without no warning or nothing like that. And I fucking hit the air horn on him. Fucking, you feel me? So a day or two passes by. I get called into the office because it triggers a camera event because it was a close, almost collision. I get called into the office, man, and this fucker tells me, hey, Mr. Brown, what you did here showed a lot of exhibits of aggression. There was no reason for you to hold on to the air horn that long. I said, bro, did you see that lady pull out in front of me? She could have killed me herself because I could have ran into the back of her and killed her, and it could have messed up all the people that was behind me with that truck stopping so abruptly, not by my doing, but by the radar's doing. It jammed on brakes, and what about the people that was behind me? I was pissed off, so I blew the air horn. Well, corporate's looking at you right now to hire you for that driver position. That won't look good. 2 or 3 days later, no, let me tell you, before that conversation was over with, he kept on trying to throw it in my face. Well, you can't be doing that type of stuff because corporate's looking. I said, bro, I don't care about that job, bro. I said, bro, somebody could have got killed with that type of shit she was doing. So, yes, I hit my air horn. I'm not a fucking perfect person. I get mad. Shit, somebody pull out in front of you and almost kill you, you'll hit your air horn too. So he says, all right, well, just try to watch that. You know what I'm saying? I said, this motherfucker right here, this bitch was just looking for any fucking reason to eliminate me from the potential of getting that job. And he gonna use this as a way to do it. Lo and behold, 2 days later, somebody else is chosen for the job. Then, remember that dude that I told you was a dispatcher that got on me the first time I came into the office because of a safety vest, which other people do all the time and don't nothing get said about it? A day or two after they hire somebody else for that job, he calls me on the day where he knows I like to run 350, 400-mile runs. He calls me at 3 o'clock when they supposed to call me at 12 noon and give me my offers. He tells me, hey, I got a 100-mile run for you. 100-mile run? So what y'all doing now is y'all trying to pick with me because I told old boy in front of all y'all in the office that I don't give a damn about that job. I can't be, you know what I'm saying, giving an ultimatum. Hey, you fucking get right, nigga, or you gonna fucking lose this position. I said, I don't care about that shit, man. I don't care about no damn job. Because I don't. Nigga, I can get a job anywhere. I got a CDL. I can go OTR if I got to. If I can't find shit right here, I go OTR. You know what I'm saying? That's what they don't like about me because I know how I can utilize my CDL license and my credentials. So, yeah, this fucking dude calls and offers me a 100-mile run, bro. It's like, why do you have a problem with me, bro? Like, people hate to see you at peace, man. Like, people hate to just see you just being happy and just living your life and doing your job. People like to ruin your happiness, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is wrong with people? But you know, that happened last week. The call about 100-mile run happened 2 days ago. And you know, man, it was just so overwhelming for me, man. I just had to take me a couple days off, bro. Cause I was about to go into a mental episode. If I had a went into work that night and seen that dude the next morning after he called me with that spiteful ass run that he was trying to give me because I had gotten into it with his homeboy that's in the office. So you got dispatchers, that's the safety guy, safety vest type of dude that tried to pickle me at first and offer me the 100-mile run after I got into it with the safety guy, who's nothing more than a driver that got another job title but didn't get no more money. He actually makes less money than the drivers now. So he come to work with a chip on his shoulder every day because of that, because he got a fucking penny pinch to feed his family now, all in because he wanted to fucking have a title over other people. This is the type of people that we dealing with on these jobs, you know what I'm saying? Like people that will subject themselves to a lower standard of living, all in hopes of just being above you. You know what I'm saying? And they get mad at you because you going about life and just living. And don't bring your fucking financial troubles and your wife troubles and your kid troubles to fucking work with you and take it out on me. You know what I'm saying? So I think those two are like agents in the matrix that are like trying to target me and like push me out of there. Like you fuck with him on the safety side. Anything he do wrong, just fucking target his ass. And then this one over here, I'm gonna give him all the lowest miles runs that I can give him and make shit really hard for him. Like everything that I know he want, we ain't gonna give him that shit. We just gonna fucking make it hard on him and make him quit or just take that smile off his face, essentially. You know what I'm saying? But you know, and I'm gonna tell you this one. This is another bonus to let you know that it's only me that they pick on. I had an OG homeboy, right? Who was that? That's my mama. I had an OG homeboy that worked with me. And I seen him at the gas pump the other day, and he was telling me where he was finna go on his run. I said, "Oh, you going up there in the middle of the day, man, you know traffic gonna be crazy. You gonna have to hit on brakes every other goddamn quarter mile because somebody jumping in front of you with that 4 second shit." I said, "What you be doing with that?" He said, "Man, I'm pedal to the metal. I don't stop for that shit." I said, "So you don't stop for the 4 second thing?" He said, "Hell no." He said, "I'm pedal to the metal." I said, in my mind, I said, now that further lets me know that all this shit has been a direct attack against me. Because if you don't inflict those same old type of rules on other drivers, why the fuck do you ride my back so hard about it? They see the light. They don't want nobody to be happy, bro. That's how demons work. Remember on the Matrix? They can jump in vessels. Well, I realized, man, my whole life, the demons have been following me to try to kill my light and just jumping into different vessels along my path. They jump into that manager, jump into that dude that work on the grill with me, jump into this dude that's the safety man, jump into the, alright, motherfucker, jump into him, jump into anybody, man, that's got the potential to inflict any type of change on my energy field and how I feel about myself that day. That's how these agent works, man. Go watch The Matrix, man. This shit is wicked out here, bro. You know, when you a light bearer, man, and when you a person that's about positive energy, they gonna come for you. And I could probably leave this job today, and I'll get somewhere else, and they'll still pick on me the same way at another job, but it's just crazy, man. Like they say, we battle not against flesh and blood, but against spiritualities and principalities, man. This shit wicked out here. So, if you dealing with shit on your job from a demon, just know you ain't by yourself, bro. No. I hate to even go back to this damn job, to be honest with you. I hate it. Might not be too long till I have to find me something else, bro. But shit, if I find something else, I'm still gonna have to deal with the BS. So, I don't know, bro. Y'all tap in below, man. Let me know what you think. Am I tripping? Am I tripping? I don't know. Fuck it. Peace.